Don't hit it just yet. Oh, are you? It's starting at 11. Is it playing? Yeah. It already started.
How do we get the dumb page up anyway? We don't have anybody on today?
Hey.
Thanks for waking up with Morning Wood.
You know it's the best feeling in the world.
My name is Joey.
I'm Stick.
And I'm the loser. No, wait.
Yeah!
What is going on? So glad you could join us. It's Baligian and Bell here on the Woodward Sports Network. All right, so there's some things going on behind the scene. Joey wants us to report on something, so we're gonna get our insiders on some intel that Joey has for us. But Joique, every time I walk in the studio looks different.
It looks different.
Isn't it awesome?
There's almost no room to even walk up to the platform. There's almost no room.
My man nailed it. You know what it comes back to? Seriously, I can't get to our studio from this side. Like when I walked in this morning, Joey and Stick looked at me and said, dude, you're going to have to walk around the other way. You can't walk this side because there are so many toys here. I'm serious when I say this, all right? This has been a crappy year, and this year has beaten all of us up in varying degree. This really does reaffirm my faith in humanity, in the good of people, how people have responded to this. You guys are the best. Like, give yourselves a pat on the back, applaud yourself, whatever the case may be, for doing anything that you can to help this out. We are going to be here until 3 o'clock tomorrow, taking toys, stuff the studio. We say this every show. If you want to come in while we're on the air, great. You can come on with us. You can get your picture taken with Joique, whatever the case may be. But Joique, this is insane how many toys there are, man.
It's crazy, but it's also heartwarming.
It is.
It is. It really is. So this is like doubled since I left yesterday.
Isn't it beautiful?
Like back here, we got bikes in, we have soccer balls, we have basketballs, footballs, tubs of popcorn, my favorite.
I never knew that, really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll remember that.
Garrett's, if you remember the classic. Thank you. Hula hoops. Can you hula hoop at all?
No, heck no. I'd break a hip.
You'll break a hip?
Yeah, I'd break a hip.
You break everything.
That's exactly it, man.
Oh, good. So, I came back to the studio last night.
Uh-huh.
And we had poker night.
Oh, did you really?
We had poker night.
I did not know that. Something I did. So is there like a story? There's like an investigation going on right now. Because I heard Joey, let me try to explain to you how things work. So we get a countdown, right? And basically our boy Corey with a K start going 10, 9, and Joey's like, I could hear him whispering something. So I know that there's a developing, Joey, is that safe to say there's a developing story right now that we have to let people know what's going on? Our investigators are on top of this. We're like a news entity right now. Our investigators are on top of this, so we'll get into that. How did poker night go? I got to hear about this because I have to tell you what I did last night.
It went good. So I get a call from Chad. Shout out to Chad. And he said, come through. I have the guys coming over. And so fast forward, I come back. I go upstairs. So he just got like this huge penthouse built on upstairs. So we all go upstairs to the penthouse, and we're playing. And luckily, the buy-in wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. So I was happy about that. And so it was like just a friendly game, and I lost badly. I had a jack. I had a jack and I had a 9. And so
What, were you playing? Were you playing Texas? Were you
we were
playing
yeah, Texas
5
Hold'em.
card? Okay.
Texas Hold'em.
All right.
And I had a jack, and 2 jacks flipped on the on the board, and I said, "Ooh, I got
Trip jacks."
Yeah, and so I'm like, I know I got it. It was 2 jacks on the board, and then 1 7, a 6, and I think a 5.
Okay.
Or something like that. 2 jacks, a 7, 6, and a 5. And so I said, I got a 3 pair. I know it's the highest card on there. I got a 1. And so I went all in the pot. It was only me and one other guy. And I flipped over first. I said, 3 of a kind. I go to grab it. He said, what can you have? He had 2 7s in his hand.
Damn.
So he had
the boat?
Yeah, so he had 3 of a kind because it was the 7 on the board.
Yeah.
And then he had the 2 jacks that flipped. So he
had
had a
the
full
boat?
house. Had it. And so I brought my hands back.
You made a critical
It was
mistake.
here.
The
It was
reach.
here. It
The
was a
reach.
reach. It was
Yep.
a reach. It was a reach.
Can't do it.
Yeah, and so I learned my lesson, and it was no buybacks. And so we had to wait for the entire game to be over. And so me and Chad and his other buddy got put out first.
Okay.
And so I came in, I got put out third, and then we just had our side game going over like blackjack.
Yeah.
So it was fun, man, and came back, chopped it up, and then went home, got some good rest.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
That's no. I love the card game. We have to have a card game.
But you play Texas Hold'em?
Love it. Yeah, my buddies and I,
Oh,
we get
yeah.
together. Listen, we get together. We've done this since I think '97. A bunch of guys that I came up with get together one weekend, and you know how it is. It's tough to get the boys together for a weekend.
Yeah, it is.
We plan it 6 months in advance.
What?
So no, you have to, because everybody's got their families, everybody's got their jobs.
Yeah.
So they come over to my house. We literally start at 8 o'clock in the morning, play cards all day. Usually there's a Tiger game to break the monotony. We'll go, whether it be afternoon or evening game. We pick a weekend the Tigers home, go down to Comerica Park, come back, play cards all night, play cards the next day too. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
it's basically 2 days of cards.
So I guess it's like me and my homeboys. We'd have like a guy trip. We all go like somewhere. We usually go to LA and we'll spend the weekend there. One of my best friends, one of my good friends, Win Sarton, is out there in LA. He's actually fighting cancer right now, so shout out to my bro, man.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. We're supporting you. We'll go out there with him for the weekend, and then we have a ball. We kick it. He sets up everything, and he even has like an itinerary when we go down there. He's so like strategic and so organized when it comes like, oh, the boys coming in, let me set everything up. So it's always a good time to go out there.
It's funny, my buddies all call me the planner because I'm the same. I plan everything for everybody. What I usually do, and we already went through it, so I know what weekend's going to happen this year. I said, give me weekends at work for you. That's the first thing that start, and then you have to kind of weave your way through then. And then I just tell everybody, get at my house, 8 o'clock in the morning, the first game starts. If you need me to pick you up at the airport, no worries. I'll either pick you up, or by that time my daughter will be driving. I'll say my daughter will come pick you up. We'll work 2 cars, whatever works, and things like that. Because I mean, you know how it is. I mean,
Right.
a bunch of my boys live out of state now. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I still have a lot of friends here, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
But a lot of my friends are gone now. You know, and so last year one of my buddies actually came from Washington, not D.C., the state of Washington. So
Right.
it was really cool that he made it out and everything.
So they came here.
Yeah. Everybody stays at my house, and we have a good time with it.
So the guy trip that we have is usually like in February, right? And
Yeah.
we'll go out to LA and it's warm, this is when things were open. And then in October, we all team up, then we go to the TSU homecoming in Tennessee.
Okay.
HBCU. We go
Yeah.
to the homecoming. And it is a ball. It's a ball, man. I remember the first time I went to an HBCU homecoming, and I said, wow, this is great. Like, what have I been missing? And so it's always like a competition or a debate about who has the best homecoming in the HBCU. Either it's Howard or it's, what's the college in Huntsville, Alabama? I think Alabama A&M.
Is that it?
A&T.
Yeah.
A&T. I think it might be A&T.
What about Jackson State? You been down there?
I haven't been to Jackson State, but I don't think that's
No.
Yeah, I think it's like
Deion's coaching there. You know that, right? Deion Sanders.
He is, right?
Yeah.
And so
I was just reading about that last night.
Right,
I was
so
like,
he's coaching there.
How did I miss that?
And then when I think it's Clark Atlanta, Spelman, and Morehouse, they're all like right next to each other.
Yeah.
And I think when they have their homecoming, it's like all three colleges have it like together, and so that goes up. So that's what I have to get to. That and Howard.
You know the coolest thing? It's funny you bring that up, and this is the beautiful thing about this show. Like my man loves to make conversation. I love to make conversation. This wasn't something we were even planning to talk about, but here we are. Joique, you know what my buddies and I did back in the day, and we never got a chance to finish it because we all became parents, and once you become a parent, things change. I mean, that's just the way it is. But we used to do a tour of the SEC. We went to every place at the time. The last time I did it was 2005. But at the time, we went to every place in the SEC except South Carolina. And the coolest thing about it is going to some of these places, Joique, like you were talking about, and people don't understand, it is a religious experience, college football game day to those people in the South. There's just no other way to say it.
Yeah, so, and they have this saying at HBCU football games that you go get your food during like the second and first quarter, the first and second quarter. And so you don't have to get up during halftime because the band comes out, and a lot of people are there for the football game, but a lot of people enjoy the band. And so they go get their food like first, second quarter. So when halftime hits, they don't have to get up. They can sit down, they can eat their food and watch the band perform. And so I remember going to the TSU homecoming, and their band was amazing. It was amazing. So I'm interested in going around and going to different HBCU homecomings and try to compare. You know, I might have a TV show just going around to different HBCUs and like seeing what they do for their homecoming. That'll be dope.
See, you know what? That's the stuff. Because I'll tell you what, to tie that into the SEC, like I went to Oxford, Mississippi, right? Mm-hmm. It was the coolest college football experience I've ever seen. Right. Period. And people kind of like look at me, and it was funny because I felt that way for a while, and then I heard Kirk Herbstreit talk about it. He was like, the Grove in Mississippi is something everybody has to see. And you think to yourself, Ole Miss? Are you serious? Yeah. Joique, everybody, it's almost like going to Sunday church. The female students are all wearing sundresses. The male students are all wearing khaki pants and shirt and tie, right?
Right.
And then they have this one area called the Grove where all the tailgating's happening. And you know what it is? It's a bunch of guys like me that have their smokers out there or their homemade contraptions, and everybody's just having an unbelievable time, basically back in the woods.
Right.
It's this plot of woods just away from the stadium, and nicest people on earth until kickoff. And then you hear some of the most vile things in the history of mankind come, and you're looking at these people going, aren't you the guy that just gave me like a plate of brisket? You don't even know me, and you're telling these people beep, 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 but I'm with you. It's different down there, man. It's just a different vibe, and I love it. It's a great time. That's a great idea for a TV show.
I'm telling you, let's do it. I hope nobody takes my idea. I'm going to stop saying my ideas on TV before somebody takes it.
Right? Somebody's going to steal it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey's over there going, no, knock it off, knock it off.
No, nobody's gonna
I would absolutely freaking love that.
Don't tell anybody no ideas on the internets.
Yeah, for sure. So really quick, shout out to Venda Rose. That's my Grammy Whammy.
Hi,
What's up,
Grammy
Grandma?
Whammy.
What's up, Grandma? How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Who else we have? We have Jenna popping back in. What's up, Jenna?
They're all talking about playing cards now from the card conversation for a few minutes ago and teaching each other. That'd be another thing we could do. We could have a beginner's course in poker. You know, it'd almost be like Ocean's 11, right? Have a beginner's course in poker.
It'd be Ocean's
and then
11.
we could take all their money.
Ocean 11. I think that'd be more like 21.
Yeah.
The movie 21.
Yeah. You could do that. Yeah. Well, remember when Brad Pitt was teaching all the Hollywood stars how to play poker and everything, and they were just clueless in Ocean's 11. That's towards the beginning of the movie.
I was watching.
And they were absolutely clueless on how to. Yeah, they were absolutely clueless on how to play poker.
Okay.
So you know what I saw last night? I had to bring this up. You guys were having your poker, and I told Stick this, and Stick kind of gave me the same look that my son gave me last night. So we're chilling out at home last night. It was a snowy night. Yes, I'm a big kid. I went outside and played in the snow. I don't know how much snow you got in your area. We got
a good amount.
Yeah, we got a decent amount. I didn't have to fire up the snowblower, but we got enough to go play. So we come inside and we're flipping around the stations, and unfortunately, like the stations that show the Christmas shows, like they're on full repeat. So hey, I can see Elf for the 311th time this year. But he said to me, he was like, "Oh, cool, Step Brothers is just coming on," and I said to him, "I go, I've never seen Step Brothers."
What?
I told you, there's that look.
What?
I told you guys. I told you.
What?
Stick gave me the same look that my son gave me. He
you
gave me
watch
this
Elf and
look.
not
My
watch
son
Step
looked
Brothers?
at me. He goes, "You've never seen Step Brothers?" And I was like, "No."
Did you watch it last night?
Funny as hell.
Boats in.
Boats in. Catalina wine mixer.
Hey, Grandma.
Unbelievable. Corey, have you ever seen that? Have you seen Step Brothers?
More times than I probably should have.
See, and you know what? Now that
They're coming in the comments. How have you never seen Step Brothers? They're
See,
coming
I'm
in.
telling you.
How have you never seen
That's
that
what
movie?
I'm telling you. I wish you guys could have seen.
What was the name of the record label that came with?
Steel Stallions or something.
It was something. I can't remember.
The funniest part, I was in tears. I'm literal tears. Is when the after credits came on, and they went back to the schoolyard to fight the kids.
Yeah.
That scene, and Jack, my son Jack, said to me, he goes, "Dad, I haven't seen you laugh that hard in a long time." I don't know what it was, like when they showed them jumping up in the air, like doing kung fu, and the kids flying all over I don't know why that was so funny, but I was in tears. But the same look that Joique gave me was the same look that Stick gave me, was the same look that Jack gave me last night. He just looked at me and he goes, how? Because it's not like I don't see movies. I see a lot of movies, but I guess I just...
Prestige Worldwide. That's the name of it. That's Prestige Worldwide.
Prestige Worldwide. Thank you, Jeff.
Appreciate it, Jenna.
Now, so that is good stuff. And so that's what I was going to ask you. Was there ever a movie like that for me? I guess I never realized how big of a thing Step Brothers is.
It is big.
I never realized it. I mean, and my son, it's always funny when, your kid
even
kind of
Lil
makes
Wayne
you
put it
look
in
bad.
one of his bars. It's going down like the Carolina wine mixer.
The Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, the Catalina wine mixer.
The Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
A great time.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a movie like that where you were like, everybody else was kind of in on a movie and you were just like, I never saw it? Because everybody that I've talked to has had the exact same reaction.
One movie that I will always see on my on-demand, and I would just go right by it. But it was rated like a 90-something Rotten Tomatoes. So it was a good movie, but I would always go past it. And I'm like, doesn't look like my type of movie. And that's just looking at the picture of the cover of the movie. So one day I was bored, and I'm like, you know what? There's nothing else on. I've seen everything else. Let me put this movie on. And that ended up being like one of my favorite movies, man. It's Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, it's hysterical. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, wow, this is actually hilarious. This is a great movie.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like even the beginning of the movie when they went to the hotel and they tried to tell them to go to Chinatown and come to find out they were actually buying the hotel and the people working there was in shock. And she's like, get a mop. The floor is wet. So that was funny to me. And just the whole movie, it was like a feel-good movie.
Yeah.
And it had like a lot of people, like a lot of comedians that.
Yeah.
In the first movie, I think, a first American movie that was made that had an all-Asian cast. The first one ever. And so I thought that was pretty dope. And it was a good movie. I liked it.
It's so funny too because then you have the same reaction that every one of you guys gave me and my son gave me, where you're like, people are like, you never saw that? And I think there are more movies out there for people that you didn't realize how big a movie was.
You know what it was
right?
to me? You know what it is? It's The Notebook.
Notebook?
Yeah, I say I've never seen The Notebook. You never seen The Notebook? I've never seen The Notebook.
I saw that years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Isn't
that like way old now? Didn't it come out like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I think probably longer than that. I don't know.
It's been out for a long time.
I was like, is it better than the Titanic? And they were like, well, no, it's different, but no, it's not better than the Titanic. I said, well, I don't need to see it if it's a love, so.
Hey, Joique.
Go ahead, Corey.
It's still not as bad as Chrissy and Joey because Chrissy and Joey have never seen Coming to America.
Whoa. Are you serious?
Yeah, I was getting on them the other day. They never seen Chrissy and Joey never seen Coming to America or The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
Sure enough, you never saw The Last Dragon?
I think I might have seen it one
The
time.
Shogun of Harlem? Bruce Leroy?
Yeah, I've seen it one time.
Yeah?
I've seen it one time. And I couldn't tell you one time. Shown up.
Jenna said Notebook was 2004. Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I saw that with my wife, and I got to be honest with you, that was one of those movies where, like, great movie.
Yeah.
Loved it. I got to be honest. That was when sleep was at a premium because the kids were babies.
Yes, let me see what else. Coming to Me, that's a class. You have to see Coming to Me.
I can't wait
you
till
see
the
that
new one
Coming
comes
to
out.
America too.
I can't wait.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I seen this coming out.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. What took them so long?
I don't know.
Honestly.
But one of my favorite movies though, of all time, is Harlem Nights. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's a great one.
That's one of my favorite movies. And that came out like in '89, but it had all the heavy hitters in it. All of them.
Everyone.
It had what? Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, Richard Pryor.
Della Reese.
Yeah, Della Reese. It had I don't know her name, but she played in Waiting to Exhale. Sunshine. You know what I'm talking about? The guy, he called his wife and said, "Listen, baby, I ain't never come back home again. Good luck." And hung up on her. You don't remember the? I don't know her name.
It wasn't Jasmine Guy, was it? I know she was in that movie though.
Could have been.
I don't know about you guys. Like for me, especially like during this pandemic crap, I like you can't give me enough comedies. Like I need, with everything serious going on in the world, especially with like what the political climate is. I mean, which is awful. We've never been this divided. It's sad. It's disgusting. It's sickening. Off my soapbox. You can't give me enough like comedies.
Good comedy.
Like I turn on every time. Here's a movie. Every time it's on, I end up sitting down. I don't care what part of the movie it is, and watch it. That Talladega Nights, the Ricky Bobby NASCAR movie. I watch it every single time it's on. Talladega Nights,
Talladega
where
Nights.
Will Ferrell's the NASCAR driver.
Yeah, the first or your last.
Yep. I'm in every. So now I'm telling you right now, like you were saying, Corey with the K, every time Step Brothers is on, I'm in. You got me. I'm in. I'm in the club now.
I was just thinking about, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking about Talladega Nights earlier today because, you know, when the sun goes like I'm all jacked up off Mountain Dew.
When they yell at Grandpa, that is and Grammy Whammy, nobody's going to yell at you that way, but when they yell at their Grandpa, that is the funniest gosh darn. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
On Talladega Nights.
I took Grandpa Chip's medals and threw him off the bridge. You're gonna let your voice.
What's the one movie with my guy from Hangover and Will Ferrell when they was running for I think city council or.
I'm not ringing.
I know which one you're talking about. It was him and Zach Galifianakis.
Election day or something? Was it election day or something like that?
See, you know what? I'm glad. Whitney said, "I love when they call Corey Woods Corey with a K." You know why I do that? I want people to follow him on Twitter. He does a great job.
Yeah, Corey with a K.
Corey with a K. Corey E. Woods on Twitter.
The campaign.
Because some people spell Corey with a C. So I always like to say Corey with a K there. So
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Darren said, "I'll come at you like a spider monkey." That stuff makes me cry. So no, it's funny, Joique.
The funniest thing about the campaign is when they were sitting down at the table and he go around and he said, "Listen, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, I won't get mad." And they start going around the table. That was hilarious. But we can't say what they said on here, but if you haven't, go catch the campaign. It was hilarious. Good movie.
Now
we got some more gifts coming in, huh?
Chad's chiming in right now. He was busy playing poker last night. I was watching Step Brothers, and shame on me for not seeing that movie. And I didn't it came out 12 years ago. Where the hell was I?
Is it 12?
And the one dude from Parks and Rec is such a jerk in the movie. See, I'm not used to that. Like the Adam Scott that I know is the character from Parks and Rec, which that's another show.
You want to punch me in the face, don't you?
Yeah,
you want to punch me? Well, do it. Why won't you punch me in my face? And I think that's when they became best friends.
We got more gifts coming in right now as well.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate that. Get to make sure whenever people come in, show a little respect. Thank you so
guys.
much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
So I take it you guys got this from a jewelry store. So
That is one of the most stylish suits I've ever seen. We got here. You know what? Can you walk around here so we can take a look at?
Take a look.
Look at this.
Look at this.
This man. This is like
How you
House
doing,
of
bro?
Fashion
No, thank-
stuff
no,
right
thank
here.
you.
We got some class in the house
some
right
class.
now. Oh my gosh! First of all, thank you so much for coming in. Corey, can you get this on for them?
Yeah.
Tell us who you are.
Good morning. I'm Fran Lucido
Oh.
from Lucido Fine Jewelry, and this is Joe Lucido, and we thought we'd come
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
bring you guys some toys.
I should have
appreciate it.
known.
Thank
Look
you.
at now. Can we get a look? Is there any way we can zoom in on that?
Look,
He
look
didn't
at
know. Listen,
Look at this.
Mr. Lucido, you are putting us to shit. Look at us,
Look at
and
that.
then you got you guys coming in bringing some class
Look
in
at
here.
that.
You're putting us to
Listen,
shame.
we're gonna have a day where we dress up like this. Just one day a week. That's it. I can't do it. Just
One day a week?
One day a week.
It's
One day
like
a week.
church, right? One day a week.
One day a week.
All right.
Yeah, one day we're gonna make it like a
Well,
Friday.
no, thank you for coming out. What did you guys bring?
Lots and lots of toys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
No,
so
thank
much.
you guys for organizing it. It's a year where people really need it.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. We
And-
want to
Thank
help.
you.
And you know what's interesting about that? I'll get your thoughts on this too. This has been such a difficult year, and I was saying yesterday, this kind of reminds people what a special area that we live in because people always answer the call.
That's absolutely right. I mean, that's what we're here for. As soon as I saw Joey posting stuff, I asked him right away, and we're here the next day. So whatever we can do, we're happy to help out the community.
And you know what? We're going to help out people that help us out. If you need something for jewelry, you go see this classy guy. You go see Lucido, these classy people for coming in. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Really,
man.
really
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. Thank you
No
very
problem.
much.
There you leave right
Merry
there.
Christmas.
Merry
Hey,
Christmas
Merry
to you
Christmas
guys
to you
as
guys.
well. Thank you so much. This is like, I'm serious when I say this. I've been saying it for the last couple days. I walk in the studio, I see how many toys we have, I see how much the community responds. 'Tis the season, man. And Joique, we needed this. I think we all
did.
needed to feel better about humanity.
You can take this off now.
And humanity's winning right now, you know. And it's not very often we can say that because we've had so many stupid arguments about so many stupid things in this whole damn year. And now, you know what? It feels like we're all rowing in the same direction again.
We
and
are,
it's just
we
like,
are, man. And it's great, though, to be able to come on this show and have a platform to where we can reach out to, like we have the ability to reach out to people all over the world, not just the Detroit area. And for us to have this big of a turnout for this cause is like I told you earlier, it's heartwarming. It's exciting to see people like that coming in.
Yeah.
Just because they saw something on Facebook or Instagram or social media, and like, how can they be a part of it? And when you're doing things like this for the community, people want to be involved with things like this.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Really is. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who has helped out. And again, listen, I'm not trying to shame anybody. Times are tough. Don't feel bad if you weren't able to help out. Make sure you take care of yours, and that's the most important thing. Take care of you and yours, but if you can help out, thank you. Thank you so very much. 3 o'clock tomorrow. The truck's going to come by.
Yeah.
Stick said even if you come a little bit late, he'll find a way to get the toys to Mott Children's Hospital, Ronald McDonald House, some of the things that we're dealing with. But thank you so very much.
Another reminder on how to win this PS5. I posted yesterday on my Instagram. If you guys go look at my story on my Instagram, we'll be announcing the winner tomorrow for this beautiful thing right here that everyone's trying to get. I even want to take it, you know, but I can't take it. We have to give it. We're doing a giveaway. So go on my Instagram, see how you can win this thing, and let's get this off our hands, because with this in here, this is like an opportunity for somebody to break in and take it. So we got to get this out of here ASAP.
And I got to take off to the Catalina wine mixer. I got
You know
to
what,
get there
though?
eventually.
Darren Daniels said he went back and he rewatched the campaign table scene. He said he's in tears.
Yeah.
He's in tears. Have you seen that yet? The
No,
campaign?
that's another one. I guess I'm going to have to see that.
You have
No.
to see, when they come to the table scene, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking
Okay.
about, and you're gonna be in tears. I'm no lie.
All right, I got to ask you something. Speaking of in tears, cheesy radio segue, but give me props, okay? I have never heard of a fractured throat. I have never heard, like, true. Now I'm asking you. This is. Who heard of a fractured throat before yesterday? Honestly,
A what?
a fractured throat. Frank Ragnow, Lions center, fractured his throat during the game. A fractured throat during the game last week against Green Bay. Okay, now that's bad enough. They say it happened in the first quarter of the game. He played the next 3 quarters with a fractured throat. How on earth do you fracture your throat? I wanted to ask you, as a former athlete who has seen some of the most horrific injuries, that just sounds like the most horrific, a fractured throat. How, right? That was my reaction. It's not funny, but it's funny. I was like, a fractured throat? He might be the toughest human on the earth right now, today, Frank Ragnow, playing with a fractured throat. What's the sickest injury you either saw, or maybe to personalize it, what's the sickest injury you ever had?
I've had or seen.
A what?
That are you asking the one that I've had?
Yeah. What's the one?
I haven't had any.
Thank the Lord.
Made like reconstructive.
Yeah.
I grew. It was weird, right? So in college, I took a hit on my ankle and had an ankle sprain, and then I guess when my body was trying to heal itself, it grew an extra bone between my fibula and tibia. Right, and the doctor from Wayne State had never seen it before, so
Dr. Amelia?
Dr. Amelia, he had never seen it, and so they did the surgery. They removed like the bone buildup. It was called heterotopic ossification, medical term. Yeah, heterotopic ossification, just like buildup of calcium in a certain area.
Damn.
So I built it up, and it was causing my ankle to swell even more because my fibula and tibia didn't have room to give.
Sure.
Move. Sure. So he removed enough to where my ankle was still stable, but gave my fibula and tibia enough room to kind of move back and forth. And so, that was weird. He's never, and I talked to him like last summer, and he said he hasn't done anything since. He's never seen that since that surgery then. And I said, wow.
You know, his boy's a stud too. His son Rocco was a stud at Brother Rice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's going Ivy League.
But Nevin Lawson,
yeah,
I think he had the most horrific injury I've seen in person.
Who was it?
We were playing Carolina. Thank God we were playing Carolina because the top ankle foot surgeon is actually from that area, from Charlotte, and so he's on the sideline with the team during the game, and so Nevin actually, his foot snapped in half, like on the field, like. It was horrific. It's like he planted his foot in the ground, and he was backpedaling. He went to plant and take off. And when he stepped, I think somebody stepped on his foot, so his foot was stuck in the ground, but his body was going this way. And so he was on the ground, and we thought like he might have just rolled his ankle. He was just like grabbing his ankle, like we didn't know what he was grabbing. And so when I went to go have surgery that offseason, I talked to the ankle specialist or the foot specialist, Dr. Anderson, and he said that was the most horrific foot injury he's ever seen in all his years of practice. And then they had to rush him to the hospital to save his foot. But he was able to save his foot, put it back together, and it was like a year recovery for him. And I think he's still playing. I think he's with Oakland right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
It's just,
Yeah.
There was, I once saw a guy break his femur, which is next to impossible to do, as you probably know. It's basically your thigh bone. And I guess it just takes an incredible amount of pressure to break your femur. And it was one of the strangest things because he was like literally screaming. This guy, big, strong guy, and they have to pull his leg to straighten the bone out in your leg.
Yep.
And he passed out. And like, I thought he died. No, honestly, I remember I was like, tough. He's going, oh my gosh, beep, 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 beep. They yank his leg and he just goes like that, right? And I go, is he dead? Like, I mean, honestly, it's insane. Somebody brought this up. I was going to bring this up. Vinny brought this up. This is going back 31 years. I still remember it plain as day, 1989. Corey with a K and Joique, you guys might know this, but I'm sure there's video of it. Clint Malarchuk was a goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, and a guy comes skating in, and he got tripped up right before he got to the net. And his skate came up as he got tripped up, upended, and his skate cut the goalie's neck. There was literally this much space there, right? There was this much space. cut his neck and cut his jugular vein. So he's sitting there going like this, and the blood was splurting out with every heartbeat, with literally every heartbeat. I mean, it was so disgusting. The trainer came out and literally saved his life on the ice because they wouldn't have had enough time to get him, to the hospital, even with all the emergency personnel there. But he knew what to do. It severed his jugular vein. It's one of the most disgusting, and like when you talk to the guy did an interview afterwards, the goalie Clint Malarchuk, and he said, I could feel my heartbeat because the blood was coming out with every beat of my heart. It was just, and for people that don't know, those skates, they aren't like the dull skates that we have in our house. I mean, they are very, very, very sharp and sliced his jugular vein. But I yesterday when I saw that with Frank Ragnow, a fractured throat. How the hell?
I'm gonna see if you remember this.
All right.
Who was the football player? I'm gonna see. Who he jammed his finger so bad that they couldn't like tape it together. So he told them to cut his finger off.
Ronnie Lott, right? Wasn't it Ronnie Lott? Yeah, I think it was. I think Ronnie Lott, doesn't he have the tip of one of his fingers off? Like he just said take, I think it was Ronnie Lott, wasn't it?
He said cut it off. They cut it off and he went back out and finished playing again. Tough is some of the
Kenny goes, well, I'm not hungry anymore. Sorry about that, Kenny.
Yeah. Do you remember Bruno Shirelli?
Oh, he's a tough kid.
Do you remember Bruno?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Bruno broke his leg in the game and then jogged off the field. Broke his leg during the game and jogged off the field. And he was like coming off the field, like kind of hopping. And he was like, I think I rolled I don't know what's wrong. And broke his leg. And then like just walked off just like it was nothing. Shout out to Bruno.
Tough kid.
Tough. I like having Bruno on the team. He was like one of our special team like studs. Him and Shango.
Well, you know where he's from. You know where Bruno's from, right?
Where?
L-Town.
L-Town?
We make them tough in L-Town.
Make them tough? So shout out to Bruno, Shango, Matt Shango. Let me see, who else we have on here today?
Yeah, it's amazing. If you guys caught that yesterday, it's crazy. And you were talking about it the other day about Stafford's injury, and that's some of the stuff that we wanted to talk about. The ribs are really peculiar, and it's funny. I thought of you when they were talking about it yesterday because the X-rays were negative, so he doesn't have the broken rib. But as you talked about the other day, what can be as painful, if not more painful, is when you have that cartilage damage down there. You brought that up the other day, and this is even before we knew that the X-rays were negative. You know how tough Matthew Stafford is, and he even said, I'm going to do everything to get back on the field. But sometimes there are just things you can't do, man. When you got that cartilage damage down there. I mean, think about a quarterback dropping back and all the extension and everything. Every move that you make is going to be like somebody sticking a dagger in you like Gladiator.
It's tough. So you have, but you know what, the Lions, they do have some good trainers in the training room, and so hopefully they'll be able to get them back. Obviously, they're going to take good care of that rib. They're going to, get extra padding down there, and they're going to, give it a little bit more TLC. If it's not broken, if it's just bruised, he'll be back. He'll figure out a way to get back.
That's the thing. You lived this, and you hear the stories. I don't think the average person knows. You guys just play with injuries. I mean, that's the way it is. Is there ever a time you're healthy?
No,
I mean, seriously.
You aside from the first, and even then, because you're playing a preseason, most of the time you'll never play a game 100%, right? You'll never play a game at feeling 100%. But that's professional sports. I mean, it's almost no sport you go to a game, every game, feeling 100%, even half the games. Like, you're going to have to battle through some injuries. You're going to have to battle through some pain. And that's where the saying comes in that football is 90% mental, 10% physical. Seriously, your body, your mind will give up before your body will. And so you have to train your brain to be able to like, okay, I can make it through it. I'll be okay. And that's one thing that I love about Stafford, that when I would go in on those Mondays or Tuesdays and he has 20 different cords connected to him, and I'm like, Matt, you okay? And Matt, oh, I'll be all right. I'm good. Nothing. I'll be all right. Just a tough cookie, man. Always love playing with him.
All the guys that play with him come back with that exact same quote, that they've never played with a guy that's that tough or that much of a warrior, whatever the case may be. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Jenna said, I once broke a nail at work. Let me get that. I once broke a nail at work, then got a paper cut in between my fingers, but I'm still here to talk about it. Absolutely. No doubt about it. You're a warrior. I'm going to give that. Vinny said, when hockey playoffs come around, it's crazy to see the injury these guys play through as well. That's professional athletes, though. Props to them powering through. Joyce said hello. Hello to Joyce. It is amazing. I'm glad you realize that, Vinny, because honestly, you think you get it. Like growing up for me, being a one-track mind, I was that kid. I memorized all the Stanley Cup champions, Super Bowl champions, college football champions, all of that stuff. I was literally a one-track mind. You don't realize what these guys go through. And the term warrior applies because, as Joique was just saying, and Vinny, you brought up about hockey, these guys are beat to hell. No other way to say that. And it's just like, we're going. This is why it's playoffs?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to miss a playoff game?
Right. And then it comes into play. So being the best will only get you so far. Like, I want to be the best, all right? But at some point in time, it's like, well, me being the best, I need more motivation. And then that's when family comes into play. And then, okay, well, my family's good, so why am I playing for now? Okay, now I'm playing for the city, So for me, it's always been those three. It's been I wanted to be the best, I wanted to play for my family, and I wanted to play for my city. And so, my city and state. And so for me, that's kind of what motivated me. And that helps, that goes a long way with trying to play this game. And I think that's any professional sport or any sport in general. I think once you leave high school and go to college, it becomes, as you go up another step, it becomes more of a business. So from, Pop Warner to junior high to high school to college to some guys might go, they might go play there in the Arena League or Canadian Football League to the NFL. Every step up, it becomes more of a business.
Yeah.
And that can kind of suck the fun out of it because initially when you first start playing the sport as a kid, it's fun. And you're playing it just for fun. And as you grow up a little bit more and more and more, it becomes more of a business. And you have to figure out ways to continue to make it fun for you. And so for me, I enjoy playing here. I have fun, and when you're having fun, you're only having fun when you're winning.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Truth. Mitch said, playing football in high school, tore my ACL, MCL, partially tore my meniscus, sucks. Knee has never been the same. I did it 4 years ago, believe it or not, on a bike ride. No, really and truly, on a bike ride.
Yeah.
I tore my knee. It took them 2 years to just get it workable. I still deal with the nerve damage. I have nerve damage that goes from the side of my knee down to my foot. My doctor told me, you're just going to have to deal with it, dude. And it sucks because, Joique, like for me, back when you were playing at Wayne State, I ran 4 or 5 miles 4 to 5 times a week. I couldn't do it if my life depended on it. Just can't do it. My doctor said the same thing. He's like, hey, dude, if you want to do the elliptical, you have to take the pressure off the landing. He said, forget about the track, forget about the cement. You just do the elliptical stuff, but it's not the same. For me, that was peaceful.
Turn that resistance up.
No, but you know what I'm saying? For me, like I used to go on a run and it was peaceful.
Because you were in the nature.
Yeah, that's it. Get my headphones on, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, dude, I did 6 miles today, whatever the case may be, and it's just like. I'm with you, Mitch. I can relate to that.
I'm gonna challenge you. I have the 5K my charity weekend. You got 6 months to get ready for it.
Oh boy. All right, Nee, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
6 months to get ready for it.
Let's get that cortisone. If my Dr. Seiker,
No,
if
don't
you're
ever
watching,
get that in your knee. Don't ever get that in your knee. Don't ever get that in your knee. Never get it in any
Tell
joints.
you what, it helped me a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Because this is the thing about that. It's just pressing pause on the injury.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
It's not fixing anything. It's just going to take the pain away, but the problem is still there. If you're still having issues like that, come talk to me. I'm gonna send you out to my medical company.
Oh, all right.
We're gonna figure something out. We're gonna get you some stem cells.
I appreciate that.
No, for sure.
Yeah, thank you. So Matthew Stafford, of course, he says he's gonna go. We'll keep an eye on that. Couple guys coming into town. We talked about it yesterday. We've got Reddick is coming into town. Who else is coming into town? Corey, the guy that used to be with New England. coming into town for the Lions. I just saw that today. Gosh darn it! Why can't I remember who it is? But you got a couple GMs coming in, and that's the way it is. Look, this is going to be a process. You know, if we didn't let you know before, this is going to be a process. Joique, as we talked about yesterday,
More toys coming in. Look at that.
It's about due diligence and more toys coming in as well.
Yeah.
Those just get dropped off, Stick?
Yeah, they did. He didn't want to come on. He just wanted to drop him off.
That's what's up.
So cool.
Good guy, man. And then Art is coming in with a trash bag full of toys right now.
Oh, I
Okay,
love it.
Art.
I love it. There's Art. Got the game. What?
Art, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So for people who don't know, we have a Call of Duty game coming up that we'll be streaming on Twitch. At Woodward Twitch. Is it Woodward Twitch?
Yeah, Woodward Sports on Twitch.
Yeah, Woodward Sports on Twitch. And he called me up because I've been talking about Call of Duty a lot. And he wants me to get my team together, but he doesn't need to worry about my team because my team, we're ready. We're ready. We're built for it.
have a team.
I do have a team. But the thing is, I have so many people who wants to play. It's hard for me to decide who I want to have on my team. So, Art, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Art. No, Art, come on in, dude. No, Art, are you kidding me? Come on in.
Go over there. Don't touch me.
Here you go, bro.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me, Art.
Listen, I'm ready to go. I've been ready.
Oh yeah, you gonna be going right out the door when we come in here on Wednesday night.
Over on this side? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, listen, it's going to be something that's going to be exciting. We're trying to build this Woodward Sports Twitch. We're giving away the Xbox. So go subscribe, Woodward Sports on Twitch, and then on the 23rd at 8 p.m., you can bring whoever you want. You can bring whoever you want. You're going to lose.
You want to make a wager?
Well, listen,
Oh, boy.
I got triplets, man. I don't have money.
Who said, I don't know. We're not doing money.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
come up
make
with
a
your
wager.
best wager. What do you want to bet?
I think of something.
Okay.
I can think of something because then it'll benefit me. Lunch for a week.
Oh,
Because then
thought
it'll
about that.
benefit me.
Yeah.
And Corey.
That's too easy.
yeah.
That's
We'll
too
have to
easy.
think about something.
We have to do something that's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing? That's
Yeah.
what, demoralizing?
We got something embarrassing.
I was thinking just the shout out in your IG, but I mean, we can go demoralizing if you want. You know, I don't have 73,000 followers, but I know I will after I beat you.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, December 23rd, Woodward Sports Twitch. We're going to do a 3v3. We're going to play multiple games, right? I want to make sure that we got the rules
Yeah,
correct.
we're going to play 3 games.
Yep, Plunder,
Plunder.
King's Trio.
We can do that.
Okay, and then we'll just do a deathmatch style.
Domination.
Ugh.
Domination.
No, I wagered with you on 2 of them. I'll give you Plunder and King's Trio.
Right.
You give me the 3v3, just regular team deathmatch.
I gave you trio. That's regular team deathmatch.
You didn't give me that. We mutually agreed. You got one. We mutually agreed on King's Trio. Let's do a 3v3, just regular team deathmatch to end it off.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Kill confirm. Kill confirm.
Picking up the tags is so pointless because I'm too busy taking your whole team out. I don't have time to go pick up the tags when I'm already going to the next guy. I can't do that.
Dude, he's got trash talking game.
And the thing
I
is-
can't wait to watch you now. I can't.
I'd get more excited about Bell playing. I'll talk all the trash. I just want to build this up, and obviously I know I'm going to win. I'm just kind of, playing a little pool shark here, throwing a little trash.
Hey, I'm going to do a poll. Right, we're going to do a poll on IG. We're going to see who you guys got. Are you guys with Art or are you guys with Team Bell? So we're going to figure this out.
Listen, I'm not a former Detroit Lion.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
I'm a guy who's got 7 kids and likes to play video games. Like, come on.
You might get a lot of, so you have way more time to play than me. So you might have one.
Yeah, I got all the time in the world. All the time in the world. No, I'm excited, man. I appreciate it. December 23rd, 8 p.m., Woodward Sports on Twitch. And you have until then,
You have
too.
7 kids now?
What's that?
You have 7 kids?
Between my wife and I, yeah. Yeah, I got triplets, and I got 2 of my own. She's got 2 of her own.
Hey, Fish, we have a guy that's bringing in a bunch of garbage bags right now. Is there any way anybody can go out there and help him?
You know what? I'll
Thank
let you
you.
guys get back to your show.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Art.
Be ready?
No.
We stay ready.
All right.
They're
Get
coming
out
out
of
to
here.
help him. I'm like doing sign language to my man out there. He's parked out there, so people are going to go help him out. He's parked out there. I can't wait to do this. I told you, and I'm not much of a gamer other than for the amusement of my son and his friends.
Tell
I
them,
told you-
give us the story.
Well, we'll play the game, and they think it's cool to play with Mr. Baligian. Well, they used to think that. So I'll be playing, and I'm the weak link in every game that we play. And so, like, at first the kids were being like all nice about it, and they were being polite. And then they finally got to the point where they started going, Mr. Baligian, you suck. Oh, is Mr. Baligian playing tonight and things like that? So, I mean, that's literally what it turned into.
Yeah.
But they're all hyped thinking about this. Like, my kid was like, Dad, can we get together? Dad, can we get together on that night and help out, watching those guys and everything? I said, heck yeah, I want to watch it. So we're going to be sitting at home, have it on the big screen, watching you guys game. I can't wait.
We're excited about it. So it was funny. I called my son last night, and I was telling him that, listen, we're about to do this. And he was like, can I play with you, Dad? I said, yeah, of course you can play with me. I said, I done got a lot better since the last time we played. He said, well, let me go see. So I didn't know you can do this, but he found me some way on his game system and was able to pull up all of my stats. And he was like, oh, you winning more, Dad. He like, but your aim is horrible. your aim percentage is horrible. He like this, and I was just sitting here like, how can you see my stats? I don't even know my stats. I just know I'm winning a lot. And so I have a good team that kind of carries me, but still at the same time, I'm working on like my controller sensitivity. Like when I'm shooting, my gun is going all over the place.
Sure.
So you have to get these different perks to put on your gun to kind of keep it still, right? To keep the recoil from every time I shoot, the gun is doing that. And so it takes me a lot of time to figure out what's the best gun for me, what should I use, how many rounds. It's a science, man.
Art's not here, right? Art's not.
He's outside.
You got some ringers, right?
Yeah, I got some ringers. I got some ringers.
He doesn't know what's going to hit him. I know that because I know.
I played the other night, and I'm not lying to you. We won 11 games straight on Warzone. 11 straight. And then we stopped. We didn't lose. It just got late, and I said, you know what, guys, I gotta hit the sack. I got work in the morning. But we won 11 games straight.
Because I know how competitive you are, so that something tells me you're going to put together a great team. Who's this guy? Come on up, man.
This is Brian.
Brian,
What's
man,
up,
he brought me
Brian?
about 20 bags.
Yeah, how are you?
What's up, Brian? How you doing, Joique? Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Brian, Sean, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming down, man. You know what? We always, if you guys bring this down, we're going to try to get a chance on. Move over here with me. All right, so what did you bring for us?
I brought everything, like $300 worth of toys.
You're the best.
You're the best,
Thank
man.
you so much,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Really appreciate it. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Canton, living in Howell.
Okay.
Out by Brighton. So.
Okay, yeah,
know exactly where you are.
Highlanders,
Yep.
right? Howell
Yep.
Highlanders?
Oh yeah.
Good hockey program out there.
Yep.
Any shout out or anybody you want to say hi to while you're here?
No, I just my family had a cousin of ours that passed away when she was 10. Stayed at Mott's Children's Hospital, so family all kind of put money together, and this is kind of in honor of her. So
God bless you. And you're a hunter.
God bless you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
We were just
So
talking
how did
about
you hear
hunting
about this?
yesterday.
Yeah. What's that?
So how did you hear about this?
I've known Stick and Joey and all those guys for a while, so
Okay.
I've been tuning in and watching, and
Thank you.
figured this was the perfect spot to do it. So.
Appreciate it.
perfect,
Much
man.
love, man.
Appreciate
Best
it.
to you this holiday
Absolutely.
season.
You too.
All right.
right,
Have a
thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you.
People like this guy and so many of you guys out there are going to make this just a very memorable, wonderful Christmas. It's awesome. Brian, I can't thank you enough, and everybody else that has brought something down or donated in any way they can. It's 'tis the season, man. I mean, there's no other way to say that. As I was saying, Thomas Dimitrov is going to be coming in. Louis Riddick, as we already know, is coming in for an interview. So things are happening with the Lions. I want to get your take, Joique,
What's
because as a fan, I love this idea. My guess is a lot of players don't love this idea, but the NFL having the conversation again, Joique, about moving to 17 games, and the big debate right now is, okay, do we bring the exhibition games down to 2, or do we bring the exhibition games down to 3, all right? And it's funny because I think, I could be wrong, I think everybody is in the same position right now. Enough with the exhibition football. I think the players feel that way. I'm not saying do 0 games. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is maybe bring it down to 2. 1 at home, 1 on the road. These guys are professionals. They're already in camp. They're going to get ready to go. But, Joique, what is the temperature of the room when you talk to the players about playing another game on the season?
Raise the salary. Raise the salary.
It's only fair?
It's only fair. Raise the salary and understand that the games in the preseason is, I think, it's a way that you can get a clear evaluation on the players, see who you want on the team, see what players that has improved over the offseason. But as players, we really don't care too much. The veterans, we really don't care too much for the preseason games. It's just more wear and tear on the body for something that matters, but it doesn't count, right? And so if they can, I guess, drop the 4 games in the preseason down to 2 and add another game on and raise the salary, I don't think you hear too much complaining from the players.
Let me ask you this. The interesting thing about that conversation is so many times people will talk about that 3rd exhibition game, that 4th exhibition game. You know, the 3rd exhibition game was dubbed the dress rehearsal. The 4th exhibition game, you hear a lot of people say, well, this is your opportunity to put something on tape. You had that opportunity years ago to put something on tape. Mm-hmm. Is it overblown decision-making by the coaching staff? Because it's funny, you talk to some people and they say they pretty much know what the roster is going to look like even before you start playing the games. Yeah. What was your experience with that? Do we overblow the necessity of it?
No, you don't. And it's a little bit of both. Sometimes they'll have their roster already set in mind, but every so often you'll get a guy that he'll surprise you.
Sure.
And it's like, whoa, this guy's really stepping up. For instance, when I was in New Orleans, they didn't plan on going to the season with 5 running backs on the roster. They only wanted 4. But I played so well, I made them keep me.
Yep.
So they put me on a roster. But I wasn't the guy that, he's going to be a part of our package. No, I wasn't that guy. I was the guy that I had to fight and scrap and do special teams until I got my opportunity to play. And so when I got my opportunities to play, I made the most of them. But that's why you had that 4th preseason game, because usually the guys that they know that's going to be on the roster, the main guy, they're not planning that 4th preseason game. And so it gives guys like me the opportunity to kind of showcase our talent. If they drop it down to two games on in the preseason, I don't know how that's going to pan out for guys who don't have that big name, but they have the talent and they just haven't had an opportunity to kind of showcase what they can do.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, as I think about it, Joique, especially from your point, when you became a veteran and you became established, you knew you were going to be on the Detroit Lions the next year. Unless the contract was up or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the contract, yeah.
Yeah. But you knew, okay, I'm going to camp. I got a spot on this team. Say from 12 to 13, 13 to 14, you knew you were going to be a Detroit Lion. So here's the angle. When I hear people say, well, you are playing two less exhibition games and only 1 more regular season game, don't forget, the veterans like Joique, or Matthew Stafford, or Calvin Johnson, or Kenny Golladay, those guys are going to play maybe a series in a couple of those exhibition games anyway. Yeah. Some guys aren't going to take a snap. Matthew's not going to take a snap in some of those exhibition games. So it isn't evening out at all. They're putting more of that physical toll on your bodies. And I think when I hear these conversations, and sometimes, you're watching the talking heads on television, right? And they're going back and forth. Well, you have to remember the owners are giving up 2 exhibition games and the players only have to play 1 extra game. So in actuality, they're playing 1 less game. No. That's not true. Mm-hmm. When you're playing a series or 2 in some meaningless exhibition game in the middle of August against playing a full game in December or January, as it were, of the regular season, they're asking you to play more. I do not think it is wrong of the players to say, we're behind this, show me the money.
Show me the money. That's it. The only people that will have an issue with that, right, will be the guys like me coming out. I don't have enough time to showcase my talent. I don't have time. I don't have the opportunity to kind of, to state my case. I don't have time to plead my case, so to speak. So for me, coming out as an undrafted free agent, I would say no. I want all 4 of my preseason games so I can have more of an opportunity to play and showcase my talent. And what the veteran signed contract me, I don't want to play any preseason games. I want to play the 17 games and pay me more. I'll do that. I wonder how they're going to handle that with the bye weeks, the 17.
This is a conversation that is going to grow even more in the next few weeks. We better get used to this. We are going to hear a whole heck of a lot of that. And I've always had that problem. This is where I take the player side 100% in regards to this. I don't want to hear that garbage about it's evening out, we're giving you one less game, because most of the veterans aren't playing in those first 2 exhibition games anyway. You know, and Joique, let's be honest, even in that quote-unquote dress rehearsal, the 3rd exhibition game, maybe you guys are playing a half, maybe. Maybe you're playing a half. I mean, think back to your career. You know, everybody.
That 3rd game, the 3rd preseason game, you're playing most. Like the people that they know that's going to be on the roster, they're playing probably up to like the 3rd quarter.
Okay.
Right? They're playing up to probably like the 3rd quarter. That's like like you said, the dress rehearsal.
The dress rehearsal.
Right. And then like when I was on the Buffalo Bills, I remember the coach coming out and telling us, like, listen, guys, we're not going to blitz that much this last game. It's just, that's how they do it here. We're not going to blitz. So defensive players don't have an opportunity to blitz the quarterback. And so, or they don't blitz as much because it's exhibition, it's preseason. And so the gloves aren't off. Like, so everything doesn't go. Right? Yeah. And so people think like it's still a real football game, and it's still physical, it's still fun to watch, but they have limitations, or, you know, to kind of have you on a leash as far as what you can do on defense. And I don't think that's fair to some of the players who, you know, get their bread off blitzing the quarterback.
You know, it's interesting, a couple points Kenny brought up. I believe the Broncos weren't going to keep Shannon Sharp until the final preseason game his rookie year. Now he's in the Hall of Fame. Tony added, if preseason goes down to 2, doesn't it make sense to then up the practice squad to 15 or 20?
It's up. It's up already.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You know that.
I know.
Here's Joique, the problem that I have, though, and I've always felt this way even before you told me the story about your boy in Chicago, Raheem. They try to hide guys.
They try to hide guys.
You were guilty of it. You were being hidden, absolutely.
Yeah, so like usually when a team find a player that's really good, they'll try to hide him so other teams can't find him or get him, or because they know they're going to cut you because of numbers. So this is the business side of things that the fans don't see. They don't see it. They don't know why. And we talked about it when I was on the Buffalo Bills. When I played for the Bills, they would give each running back a series. So until that series was over, you'll have that whole series. You won't come out. And so we're playing the Lions here for the last preseason game. We had Mr. Pat, who was a big fan of mine in college. I played with his sons. He bought about 50 tickets for my former teammates and brought them all to the game. And it was in the back of the end zone. And it was my series, and we were actually going towards that end zone. And I hope to get the team down to like the goal line, and if we get down there, they pull me out the game and put in another running back so I didn't score a touchdown, because that would have put me on the radar of the teams. And they'll never tell you this, right? They'll never tell you, but we're not stupid. We know what you're doing. And my agent was furious. He was furious. And so they send the other guy in, he scores. And my teammates was just like, what? They were like, they were upset from college. And yeah, it was crazy. I remember I got a call from my best friend, right? My first year in the NFL, she was working as a RA in the dorms during training camp. So I scored my first touchdown against Washington, in Washington, when I was on the Buffalo Bills. And she said she heard the building shaking for all my teammates, like jumping up and down screaming because they were so excited I had scored. And it's more so of a testament to like D2 players. So I thought when I was playing for like all the D2 players. Like I was playing for all the D2 players because they say we're not good enough, or they feel like we don't have talent in Division II. I'm like, no, we have talent in Division II, right? We just don't have quantity, but we do have quality.
You know that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew enough of them. You know that. And
yeah.
I'll tell you that story. I remember that plain as day, and you probably never heard this. I'm watching the game, okay? You get in the end zone. Joique, I kid you not, I do one of these, right?
Right.
Because, whether you want it was for all of us, right? I crap you not, my phone starts blowing up. You name them, Weiss, Joique just got in. Mr. Fournier, Joique just got in. Everybody, it was everybody was like texting each other, Coach P-Dubs, Joique just scored. It was one of those moments that like you shared that with everybody.
It was a good feeling, but I didn't celebrate because we were still down by like 30. And so it was like one of those moments when I scored, it felt good, shook my teammate's hand, kind of jumped with them, went to the sideline. It wasn't like a big thing or nothing. It was just, dang, I wish that touchdown we could have won the game when I scored my first one. But it was a good time. It was a great feeling. And for me, that's when I knew. I said, okay, I think I can play in this league. I think I can do it. Let's go. And so from that point on, just kind of worked my way up.
Yeah.
Good
That
time.
was awesome. You were going to get there. You were going to get there. No, it's interesting. I always like to ask the players because it's easy for people like me. It's easy for me to sit there and go, oh, yeah, more football, man. Yeah, I mean, give me another game like what happened Monday night. I can't wait.
That was a great
right?
game.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
It was phenomenal.
Monday night.
I mean, really, it was that's like an instant classic. But I think sometimes people don't think about these guys, about the players. And I don't know about you. If I'm asked to do more, well, I want to be given more. And I don't think you guys are wrong in that regard.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong in that regard.
At the same time, when you're an owner of any type of business, you always want to get the best bargain for what you get the bank out of your butt.
I respect that.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you have to respect it's a business, right? And so at the same time, as players, we have to understand that we are a business as well, right? We're a business as well. And so we want to make sure we're getting the best deal because when you're done playing, you're done.
How bad is the relationship between the owners and the players union? Do you have an opinion on that? Did you get an up close? Because and the reason why I ask you is there's some people that think that there is a day of reckoning coming. Like you've heard Richard Sherman be very outspoken about these guys have taken advantage of us too long. We're at a breaking point. Then you hear some people say it's not that bad. We need to improve it. What was your take on all that? What was your experience throughout the process?
I'll give you an experience that I kind of went through. I was in New Orleans. This is the year after that. It was the year after.
The year after they won?
The year after they won.
Okay, yeah.
So I got there the year after they won, all right? And I got there during the year that they played the Seahawks, and Marshawn had the run.
Yeah.
But I remember we had the NFLPA come in, and it was telling the stories like how they won the Super Bowl, and then the following week, and it could be a rumor, but this is what I was told, is that the owner of the Saints actually went to the state and said he was trying to get them to get rid of workers' comp.
It was Mr. Benson at the time, correct?
Mr. Benson, yeah. And he was trying to get them to get rid of workers' comp because I guess he didn't want to pay his players the workers' comp, right? And so this is after they won the Super Bowl and helped make you hundreds of millions to billions of dollars, and this is how you would pay them, like this. And like it's stuff like that because it's like and this one thing players have to understand, like this is a business. Some owners really do care about their players, and some owners they care about the bottom line, and that's what they care about. And I mean, if that's their preference, then you can't fault them. But at the same time, and that's why I can't be mad at players when we say, listen, do what's best for you and your family.
Absolutely.
Do what's best for you guys, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and your career is over with, who's going to have your back?
I hope anybody who's ever listened to me on the radio or television over the years, that has always been my mentality. Who the hell am I to tell Joique Bell what's the best for him? Because I think sometimes we as fans, and it's human nature, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but at some point in time, we as fans kind of take this ownership thing. Does that make sense? Like, well, wait a second, you owe me or the team owes me. I'm a season ticket holder, whatever the case may be. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you have to remember these are human beings that have to do what's best for them. So I'll give you examples. If a coach decides to leave, if a player decides to leave, a lot of times people will go, oh, I can't believe that guy. What a traitor. It's like, no, time out, man. He's doing what's best for him. I don't know what's going on in his life, but there's a reason that he made that decision. And if the reason he made that decision is money, great. Don't you do what's best for you at work? Seriously, don't you do what's best for you and your family? And I think sometimes we as fans, and that's part of fandom, I get it, but it's like, Joique, how could you do this, man? You had it made in Detroit. how could you decide to leave Detroit? He got a great deal. He got a deal that might set him up for the rest of his life. Like what? Like it's funny sometimes. You have to almost remind
are you
people
talking
that.
when I went to the Bears?
Yeah, but just in general, just in general.
Okay.
I mean, and you know what? I don't care what your reasons were.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a great deal and it works best for you, shake your hand and say, good luck, man. Best of luck. Don't beat up the Lions. You know, I never understood that. Corey, you wanted to chime in with something, right?
Yeah, I just got some quotes from Daryl Bevell about the fractured throat situation with Frank Ragnow.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah. So the press conference just ended momentarily, and here's what Bevell had to say about it. So I just want to give you probably a little bit more update on Frank Ragnow. He had a unique injury, didn't have enough information on it, really anything yesterday to give you, so I want to give it to you today. I think the term fractured throat has been thrown out there, but the biggest concern that we have and the concern going forward for him is his vocal cords. Sometime during the game, early in the game, he took a hit to his throat area. It was important for us to continue to evaluate him through the game, including at halftime. During the game, third and fourth quarter, really the most important thing was his airway, how he's breathing, how he's swallowing, that kind of thing. As they checked that out during the game, he was still able to function well, so he was safe to go back in the game. I think the initial concern was just all the trauma that he had to it, so after seeing more specialists throughout yesterday, they basically brought it to that as more of a vocal cord injury. So they're having him rest his voice, won't be really speaking here. But yesterday, no word spoken. Today, no word spoken. He's not supposed to talk through Friday, and then we were reevaluated on Friday towards the end of the week. So a little bit of up and down with some information that was coming to us. So I just want to give you a bit of an update on that. Friday's a big day to reassess where he's at, and with that, he said he opened up for questions. So just kind of perusing through the rest of the questions. He just talked about how tough Frank was to play through it.
Do you know that? Did you know that during the game, like early on in the game, that he approached Matt Stafford and Chase Daniels and told them, like, listen, guys, I'm gonna play, but you guys have to make the offensive line calls from here on out for the rest of the game. But I'm gonna keep playing. That's a tough cookie, and that's what. And that's I hate to hear injuries like that happen to players like this. But I love to see players like this fight through that type of injury and say, listen, use my body, but you can't use my voice.
Yeah.
And stayed in the game. And those are the type of players we need to have on the line scene. And that's the type of culture that we have here. Like, we battle, we fight through it, and we figure out some way to get it done. And he got it done, man. I like him, man.
Tough cookie.
I love his mentality. And it's hard to find players like that. You have some guys that go out with like sprained fingers or sprained wrists and they're done. Like, I love those players who can play through like 2 dislocated shoulders and still have a great game, because like I told you, you'll never play a game in the NFL at 100%, but that doesn't mean you aren't able to go 100. Right, so.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anything else, Corey? Anything on number 9?
He didn't really say anything about, from what I'm reading right now, it wasn't much chatter, if any, about Stafford. It was just about how Frank Ragnow's. Well, they did ask about Stafford, whether Frank Ragnow playing would affect Stafford playing, and they said no, they don't think that would have any effect on him at all. But they just said that they're going to continue to evaluate him over the next couple of days just to see where he's at, because because if he can't talk, they want to know how he's going to be able to go out there.
And that's the tough part. You have a sprained ankle, you have, a thigh contusion, you have, a hyperextended shoulder. We know how to treat those. You have tendonitis in the knee, things like, you know how to treat those. How do you treat, your neck, your vocal cord? Like, how do you treat that?
Chicken noodle soup? I have no idea.
There's no idea.
It's insane.
Right. How do you speed up that healing process? Like a pulled hamstring, a strained calf. Like, we know how to deal with those. How do you deal with like a strained vocal cord? You can't put stem on your neck. You can't put stem on your neck.
One thing that drives me nuts though, and this is maybe you got an opinion on this. I will never understand. Corey, I don't know if you noticed this. Frank Ragnow was a center. Frank Ragnow had a reputation of being a dominating center. Frank Ragnow was drafted as a center. Frank Ragnow did not play as a center until a couple of years ago. Joique, that made me bash my head against the wall. For the life of me, I can't understand why you do that in the league. I get it, you want versatility. I get that, okay? But Frank Ragnow should have been at center since his day one in the National Football League. Why do you see teams do that all the time? Well, okay, I get it.
They might have their guys. This is who we trust. This is who we're going to go with. And then you have some guys who sometimes, I don't know, they might have an ego. I want this guy in, so we're gonna give him we're gonna give him more time to get developed. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be great. And then when you're in that position to make those type of calls, sometimes you have coaches say, I don't like to be wrong, or scouts, I don't like to be wrong. Keep playing him. Yeah, he's gonna come around.
Honestly, because you know what? I felt that, Corey, I don't know if you ever felt that way in the last couple of years, but a couple of years ago when they weren't playing him at center, it made me bash my head against the wall. And now that he's moved to center and, oh, by the way, simultaneously has turned into one of the best centers in football, it makes me put my head through the wall. And I think it is exactly what you come back. It's ego. Whoa. No. I already got my guy there. Let's do this, and it's like, no, drop the ego and do what's best for the football team.
And you hate that, man, and I hate that in sports, and that's the political side of this business, right? This is my guy. This is who we're going with, even if another guy is better. But over time, you can't hide talent. I will always hear that. If you have the talent, they'll find you, and you'll get your shot. You'll get your opportunity, and when you do, you take full advantage of it.
Kenny said, totally off topic, but when you guys get off air, check out the clip of Tiger Woods and his son hitting balls on the range. Kid is 11 and looks good. That doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form that Tiger Woods has a prodigy. The way that Earl brought him up and Tiger passing that on, that doesn't surprise me in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to do exactly what you said, Kenny, but that doesn't, zero surprise there. You know what, that brings up an interesting point, Joique, and I think part of the fun about doing this show for me is the conversation, and you guys at home, whether you're watching on Facebook Live or wherever you may be watching, first of all, thank you, but you guys bring up so many good points. Are there guys from other sports that you as a professional athlete, you look at and just go, damn? Because Tiger Woods seems to be one of those guys across the board. Everybody's just like, Tiger.
You know what though? Yes. And a lot of people know this about me, and a lot of people don't know this about me, that I love baseball growing up. So I was a baseball fanatic growing up as far as playing. The first sport I ever played, fell in love with it. Even we went to the World Series twice to the tournament. I think this one they used to have it in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And so we went twice for that. We won state once growing up, and then run up 1 year. We went to the World Series twice, and I loved it. And I was a big fan of Sammy Sosa.
Of who?
Sammy Sosa.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for the Cubs.
Sammy,
yeah,
absolutely.
I used to love Sammy. Yeah, and so I used to try to mimic him like when I was a kid. And so I used to love Sammy, and I used to watch him, and I want to play.
You ever get a chance to meet him?
Never got a chance to meet Sammy. Nope. Never got a chance.
That was your guy though, huh?
Yeah, Sammy, Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. That's around that time. Yeah.
I always tell people, go back and look at Barry Bonds' numbers. They look fake. It's like playing a video game. Like honestly, it's like if you have the show, I have the show, and you can keep your stats, for the year. And so my son and I get nerdy, and we're like, oh my gosh, dude, I hit 70 home runs, and I was batting 380, had an OPS of 1100. It's Barry Bonds. Go back and look at his numbers. I think people forget how absolutely sick Barry Bonds was. He was sick. Like, right. Absolutely. Now, granted, was he chemically enhanced? Of course he was. But, I have a strong opinion. I don't know if you feel the same way. MLB knew what the hell was going on. I think MLB has to own it. Mm-hmm. And every holier-than-thou pious sports writer that wants to punish every one of those guys, I think they're just as guilty because everybody knew what was going on. But because baseball was coming back up in popularity, right? Nobody said anything. No. It wasn't a story. So now it's like you were talking about. It's like, hey, they love you on the way up. But man, they can't wait to attack you coming back down.
They build you up because it's a bigger story when you crumble. It is. That's how media is. That's how the world is.
Yep.
Like I saw this meme, and it was a substitute teacher. She came into class, and she had the multiplication table up just of the nines, like 9 times 1, 9 times 2, all the way down to 9 times 9. And so the very first one, she got it wrong, but it was already on the board. So when she walked in the room, all the kids were laughing. Right? All the kids were laughing at her. The 9 times 1, she put 7. And she did it on purpose. And so the kids were laughing. They said, Miss Williams, no, you got 9 times 1 wrong. It's 9, it's not 7. And the kids were laughing at her. And she said, you see kids? Man, I did that on purpose because even though I got everyone right and I got this one wrong, you guys are gonna make fun of me. You gotta gonna stick on the things I did wrong and not on the things I did right. And so that's kind of, and that kind of set in. I said, you know what, that's really how things work. Like, it's sad, but that's how it works.
Reality.
It's reality. And I think that was a great lesson for her to teach the kids. And I think it was so simple, but yet it was reality. So.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting because it's, you know what, it seems to me like, the amount of respect, like Darren McCarty was in here last week. He was a big baseball guy too. He loved catchers.
Yeah.
Like he goes, I don't know what it was when I was a kid, I loved catchers. He said, so like literally every Tiger catcher was like my favorite player and everything. So it just seems to me like the amount of respect, and you could see like the love when they had that golf tournament, with Tiger and Phil Mickelson and Brady and Peyton Manning. The love and respect between those guys, I mean, to me, that was a great watch. I love watching that stuff because you're talking about some of the best at what they do and the mutual admiration that they have and respect they have for each other because you're doing things that nobody else can't do, including this guy. Tiger Woods can't do what you do. And so I think there's that love and admiration and everything. You a big Tiger guy? You love Tiger?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. He's one of the greatest.
It just can't miss television. I mean, honestly, it's can't miss television.
It's funny. I saw a clip of him yesterday, and the saying was, "This was the most cockiest putt of all time." He putted the ball.
Saw that.
He putted the ball and took his head off as soon as he putted and shook the guy's hand while the ball is still rolling to the hole. Shook his hand, said, it was a good match, and then walked up, and the ball dropped as soon as he stepped. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like, this is Tiger.
That reminds the Larry Bird. You know what the Larry Bird is? You ever see this? It's on clip. He was doing a 3-point competition, right? When they had the 3-point competition at the All-Star game. So this is what he did, Joique. Larry Bird walks into the locker room, before they're getting ready to do the 3-point competition. And as an athlete, I want to get your take, how you would feel about this. Larry Bird walks in the room, looks at everybody in the room and goes, "Who's finishing second today?" Not, "Hi, I'm Larry Bird," not, "Hey, what's up, Corey," not, "Hey, Joique." Walks in the room, looks at everybody and goes, "So who's finishing second today?" Promptly goes out, and before his last shot, takes a shot and goes like this. Well, here's the problem. The ball's still in the air. He literally takes the last shot and just goes like this, puts his number 1 finger up, doesn't even look at it. So it's like 5, 4, 3, swish. Larry's already walking to center to get the trophy. At that point in time, he took my soul. If I'm in that competition, it's like Larry Bird just took my soul, and I want nothing to do with it. A guy like that, he's just on a different level than everybody else.
But I love that type of mentality, though. Like, you're challenging everyone, and you're making them step up to the challenge, though. And that's what professional sports are all about, right? Like, when we're on the field, it's nasty. And before the game, it's, we're either going to tell you how great you are or we're going to tell you how we're going to beat you. It's like there's like no in between. Like, it's one or the other. And then when the game is over with, now we're like it's back to normal. But like before the game, during the game, between the whistles, like it's you and me. There's no nice guy. There's none of that. But that's the thing I love about the NFL. People ask me, did I play soccer when I grew up? And when I was a kid, I didn't think soccer was physical enough for me, so I didn't play it. But all my friends did. And so for me, I said, I'm going to stick with football. I touched the gridiron, and I'm like, this is the game for me. This is the game for me. And I never looked back. Like, always loved it.
Kenny
Always loved
said,
it.
always had this unpopular opinion about Tiger Woods that he was the first athlete in golf and he changed the game. And when other golfers followed that formula, but at that point they were too intimidated by him until Yang stared him down and beat him in the PGA Championship. Oh, half of that battle was. I agree with you.
Is that when he had
Kenny.
his back issue though?
Yeah, Tiger would psych guys out. You know, when he wore the red on Sunday, and you know he got that Tiger scowl and everything. I'm convinced of you. He would. I mean, that Tiger's gone. We're never going to see that Tiger again. Age and, as you mentioned, some physical ailments and everything. And the field is so incredible now. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Golf is 100 times better than any point in time that it's ever been. And that isn't my opinion.
Do you play at all?
I play poorly. How's that? Is that the best way to say
do
it?
you play though?
I do, but let me explain to you what I do, okay? I'm not the type of fun, believe it or not, for the goofball that I am, I'm very competitive. So I take it too serious and I can't have fun with it. Does that make sense?
I understand that.
I take it too serious and I can't. So I don't play a lot because of it. Because it's like some guys have the ability to say, oh, that sucked, but I'm out with the boys and have a great day. I'm the guy, I can't forget about that shot on 4. I can't let it go. Like it
you know what, though?
psychologically pisses me off.
You know what got me into golf?
What's that?
I had an uncle. He came up for a family function, and then he had to leave early. I said, Uncle, where are you going? Why are you leaving so early? He said, oh, I got to go golf. And I said, golf? I said, you golf? And I was like in high school. He said, yeah. He said, let me tell you something. 75% of business deals gets done on the golf course. So I said, huh. And so my mom has some golf clubs in the closet with like 3 balls. And me being stupid, I took the balls and I was hitting the balls across the street, like putting it on the tee and teeing up with the driver. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was getting some good hits, right? And so I got to college, started playing a little bit more in outings. I got in the NFL, bought my first set of golf clubs, and I started playing more and more and more, not realizing that the golf clubs I had were the blades, not the regular. And so I'm playing with these blades, and I'm trash. And they're like, why do you have these type of clubs? These type of clubs. And so I started playing more and more and more, and started getting better, better, better. I still suck, right? But I can go out there and have a good time and play. And so, but just to take it back there, I would ask my uncle, like, why do you golf? He said, you can tell a lot about a person by the way they golf. I said, how? It's just golfing. He said, well, they hit a bad shot. You said they deal with frustration. If they're on time, like if you have a tee time at 9 o'clock, they show up at 8:30. They're on time person. They're probably not gonna miss any deadlines. If they show up at 8:55, then more than likely they're late for business meetings and deadlines. And you can see how poised they are when they're not having a good day on the golf course. I said, wow, I didn't really think about all of that. And so I started playing more and more and more, and I started watching people how they react. Like if they hit a bad shot, let's see how they come back the next time. And I look at small things like that now because of my uncle. So
That's good logic. Yeah.
Yeah, never really thought about that until, then.
Jeff said, hate to be the guy to burst your guys' bubble, but that video of Tiger's putt is fake, but cool nonetheless. Is it really? Did they fake that? Corey, do you know anything about that?
I don't think that's fake.
The Tiger
I
Woods?
don't think it's fake.
All right, we got to find that. Let's go to Snoops or something like that.
Yeah, I think I might be able to find it. Lynn Joique, does your son play football? Yes, he does play football. He plays wide receiver. He's a sophomore now. Time is flying, man.
Did you have to force him into it?
No.
Let him make his own decision, all
Let
that?
him make his own decision.
1,000% for me, too.
And the thing is, I support my son. I go to all the games. And if it was up to me, I don't care. If you want to play, you can play. If you don't want to play, that's fine too.
Yeah.
For me, it's more so like, what are you doing outside of football that I really, because football, we're going to have fun while you're doing it now. I'm going to support you. I'll be at all the games. I won't miss a game. I'm going to make sure he has some of the best training. And the thing is, I can't train my son because I know who I am. So I don't train. So I have to get him a trainer.
I think that's great logic.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, because I don't want to take that from the field to the house.
I agree.
Now, I'm going to sit there while you're getting trained, right? Because I'm spending my money. So I'm going to sit there and make sure you're training. Because one thing I won't do is, if you're not putting forth 100%, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my money. That's period. Now, if you something you want to do, we're going to do it. I support you 100%, right? And so with him, and I mean, when he was a kid, him and my nephew, they would wake me up and say, Dad, Uncle Joique, we need to go work out tomorrow morning. We want to. And so we'll wake up about 5:15 in the morning, and I would take them to the gym before school, and they would do it consistently. So we would do it consistently. And then I found myself getting frustrated sometimes when we're doing drills for a period of time, for days, and you still don't have it. I'm like, you know what? I can't train you. We're going to get you trainers up. We're not about to bring this home. We're not bringing this home. And so for me, that's what I did. And so, like for instance, last summer, I had my nephew, my niece, my son, and we were training out in Plymouth, and they were getting after it. I love the trainers over there at Boris, and so they were
you did Boris method.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we was going over there at Boris, and shout out to Don and those guys over there. We was going over there, and the thing they hate the most is after they're done working out, then they have the conditioning at the end, where there's 300s or 180s or the 40-yard bouncers. That killed them. They hate that part. But it was good times though, man. But yeah, my son is a sophomore, plays wide receiver. Excited, man. It's crazy. My son's gonna be a junior next year.
Time flies, dude. Hey, listen, I tell you all the time. Mine's a senior in college now. Huh? What? How big is he? Is he bigger than you yet?
Who?
Your son.
No. Goodness. He got his mom jeans. God.
You know what happened with my son? It was my junior year, and it's funny, we took a picture of it. It was his junior year. We were looking at each other eye to eye, and we did one of those pictures like we were getting ready to go UFC, right?
Yeah.
And we were eye to eye, and by the time his senior year rolled around, because I'm just over 6, he's 6'3". I mean, it was like junior year, we're here, senior year, he's there. And he got to 6'3". Don't know where it came from.
How tall is your wife?
5'9".
So he got her jeans.
Yeah.
Like, so for instance, my son has his mom jeans, and for instance, I'm like in between my mom and dad, because I'm not bigger than my dad. My dad's like 6. My dad's like, used to be 6'2", 6'3", and he's older now, so he's like 6'3".
Shrink.
Yeah, so he's like 6'2" now.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know, like, you're usually shorter in the evening than what you were when you went to sleep.
For real?
I heard that saying somewhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, I shrunk. I was 6'1", and I literally shrunk almost an inch. My doctor made a point of it. It was about 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, straight out that spine.
Yeah, right?
Get it back. There he is. There he is.
Ryan Armani, my man.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, man. He has his mom jeans, and he's about 5'7", $130.
He's still gonna grow.
Yeah. Oh, he's growing.
Yeah, he's gonna grow.
And he's still like, so his birthday just passed, and oh God, he just got his permit, and so he just, I don't know, man. That's scary. Like, you have the conversation about your son driving, and you trust him, and your daughter driving. But for me, it's like, I'm working on it. Like, I'm really
It's
working
tough.
on it. Yeah.
Listen, she gets her license in February, and every time she's in the car, every time she's in the car, I crap my pants. With him, I wasn't so worried. He had an accident right away, and I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and it was kind of like,
you thought he was.
Are you okay? That was the most important thing, and that's what I told him. I didn't crap on him, and so I think that helped maybe his confidence, because he was shaken up about it, and I just said, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah." And
what happened?
He was following too close to somebody in weather like this. It was, it's happened to all of us. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
I rear-ended somebody. I was 22. I rear-ended somebody. Felt like garbage about it. Of course, my dad was, "You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot." So I told Jack, he's 16. he's crying. And I was like, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, Dad, I feel fine." "Okay, don't worry about it. It happens. That's what you have insurance for." And it was funny because he looked at me like, "Who are you? Are you my dad?" And I said, "Jack, I don't get mad at accidents. It happened. What did you learn from it?" "I was following too close." "Okay, don't do it again." Really. So I think showing him that I had the trust in him at that point in time, it was kind of funny because you go from barking to just going, kid, you're almost an adult now. These are things that you have to
figure out on your own.
You got to learn this stuff on your own. Most importantly, you're healthy. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. It sucks. The insurance is going to go up, but that's the way it happens. But like we were talking, my daughter's something totally different. That's just, it's my daughter. It's my little girl. I'm terrified of her being in the car. I am. I'm sorry, Lauren, if you're watching. You know it's the truth. I'm terrified of her being in the car. It's a different dynamic. A couple of comments. Lynn said, how exciting and so much fun to watch kids play sports. Things have changed since you and I were younger, Joique. Well, I can say for me, for sure, but I'll ask you. Years ago, we weren't really encouraged to be multi-sports athletes. That's all you hear out of teachers now, coaches now. MHSAA, get those multiple sport athletes going.
You have those. You have those, right? So when I was growing up, I would always hear, you might be good in all three sports, but you can only be great at one. And I would always hear that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to play all the sports. Like, that's what I love them. So my varsity baseball coach in high school was Coach Harvey, Lou Harvey. Shout out to Coach Harvey.
What up, Coach?
Coach Harvey. And he allowed me to play both sports, track and baseball, because they fall under the same season. And so it'll be games where I'll be at bat, get a base hit, get a pitch runner in for me, hop the fence to the track, change out my baseball jersey, put on my track jersey, change my cleats to my spikes, and run in my baseball pants. And then do the 110 hurdles, and then hop back, play defense, hop the fence again, and then go do the 300. So I would do that at home games and away games, whenever we had like a track meet and baseball game at the same stadium.
That's awesome.
And so we had our track coach come over to like the gate, and he'll like wave his hat like, all right, it's almost time for your event. And coach will like call, get a time and let me come off the field, hop the fence. And I think I did that at this school called Lakeshore, Stevensville. And the fans were like, where's he going? Like, where's he? And I had hopped the fence there, ran the hurdles. And you know what? I was undefeated in my baseball pants. So I should have took my baseball pants with me to the state track meet.
That's awesome.
That would help me out. But some coaches allow you to do it. Some coaches don't let you. Coach Winters didn't let me do it.
Yeah.
But he would let other players do it. For some reason, he wouldn't let me do two sports.
Well, it's amazing when your kids, how they are now. I mean, they're encouraged. When you're talking about junior high, when you're talking about high school, I have some really good friends in the coaching community.
Did you let your son do both?
What's that?
Did you let your son do two sports?
Yes, absolutely. Now they're encouraged. It's like one of my closest buddies is the hockey coach at Stevenson. He tells his kids all the time, go do it. Jack was, for the longest time, and I made a mistake because a lot of times it comes with a guy's personality as well. Jack was playing baseball, and the travel league asked him to play travel baseball. Joique, the problem with travel baseball was it started in April, and it ended the first week in November. I mean, so it was time consuming. And it was, you are either all in or you're not all in. And he begged me to play, and against my judgment, I let him play, and there's no other way to say it, he burned out. Like, you could talk to him today. Baseball is his favorite sport. He lives a block away from Wrigley Field in Chicago. We had season tickets forever with the Tigers, but some kids want their summer.
Right.
Some kids just want, I want to go swim in the pool. I want to go hang out with my kids. But when you go embark in that life, it's all encompassing. And it was funny. He begged me and pleaded, and I said no. But he wore me down, and finally I said, okay, go do it. But yeah, that's what I would always tell him. I was like, you either go play football or you go to lacrosse, but something's going to happen. So he finally kind of settled on, later on he played football, and then he played lacrosse, and then he finally played lacrosse until, the career came to an end and everything. But yeah, I told my kids that all the time. You go do whatever you want to do. I support you. I
100%.
encourage you to play multiple sports, and because that's what all the educators are doing now. I mean, literally everybody from the MHSAA's down is saying, let them play. Go do what you need to do. So it's a pretty cool thing how that's changed.
I like it. Now, we had a question come up.
All right.
Do you think the Lions are going to contain Derrick Henry this weekend?
No. How do you contain him?
You can't stop him.
No.
You can only hope to contain him.
I think.
We need to stop. I'm going to tell you what we can't do. We can't let him get a full head of steam and be one-on-one with the safety. Right? Somebody has to get a body on him. They have to play team football. They have to be. But you know what, though? I think they are, though. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because I think they're playing different. I think they're playing with more of an urgency, playing more team football. I think they're playing more like that Lions culture type football now, like getting to the ball. Like, we don't have those blue players like we talked about, but I think collectively as a group, I think we can hope to contain them. I mean, if we can hold him to 130 yards, that's still a good game for him.
Okay, then I yeah.
I think if we can.
You worry about him going for 2 bills.
Yeah, I'm worried about him going for 2 bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go for 2 bills because that's going to shred us, right? Defensively, if we had to put another guy in the box, and that's when they go to the air, right? And then offensively, like if Stafford doesn't come back, like are we still gonna have that? Are we gonna have an explosive offense? And then now we're forced to put the ball in Chase Daniel's hand, and he has to throw the ball in the air. And I love his arm talent. I played with Chase in New Orleans. I love Chase arm. I love his playmaking ability.
Mizzou.
Yeah, to the zoo.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love Chase, but I don't want to put the game on his arm if we don't have to, right? And so I just don't want us to get to a point to where they run the scoreboard up and now we're playing from behind and now we have to throw the ball and we just take our run game out the picture totally. So
I hate to say this, and I've said it before, and again, I'm not trying to dog anybody. I just don't think that defense has the personnel right now. I mean, it's after a few years of trying this Patriot way thing, I think we just have a bunch of puzzle pieces that don't fit. And that's one man's opinion.
Yeah.
And no diss to anybody else, but I have watched them simultaneously get eaten alive via the run, get passed on at will.
So what do we do now?
And that's the difficult part.
And that's the part that I'm like, we have to be able to do that with the pieces we have now, and then we worry about that in the offseason.
And this goes back to your point, though,
Yeah.
and I agree with you 100% here. What we've seen since Patricia left is guys stepping up and playing for pride now.
Right.
And you're 1,000% right. This isn't. Look, those pieces are still here, and those pieces are there are shortcomings all across the defense.
Yeah.
And if you'd like me to call out names, Jelani Tavai, best of luck to you. It didn't work. Jared Davis, best of luck to you. You're a wonderful guy. You are a physical specimen. You work as hard as any other guy, but it hasn't worked here. So to me, Joique, as many issues as this defense still has, this defense has been better since Matt Patricia left. And I think my humble opinion is because Corey Undlin is putting them in positions where they can succeed by their skill set as opposed to trying to fit that puzzle.
And I think that's what all good coaches do, though. They put their players in position for them to make plays. Now, we can't make a player make a play, but what we can do, put you in position. I've seen a couple plays where coaches have put guys in position, like, and they have an easy pick, but it's the chest rolls down. Like, we can't make you catch the ball. You know, we can take a horse of water, but you can't make it drink it. You know.
Yeah.
So, but what the team is doing now, like, for instance, I didn't think they're that close in the game on Sunday with Green Bay, but they were. They were in the game, right? They probably could have won it, but you know, no one thought they didn't have a shot. They're gonna, but no, I think with this new, we got more people coming in with more gifts coming.
You know what it reminded me of, Joique? You know what it reminded me of Sunday? It reminded me of some of the Caldwell teams, where maybe things haven't gone your way the whole game, but there you are.
Yeah,
and you have an opportunity to make a play on either side of the ball and win the game. And we saw you guys do that a lot during the Caldwell era. Obviously, you weren't able to do it on this past Sunday against the Packers. And I think a lot of it does, again, come back to the defensive liabilities that are with this team right now, because you nailed it. As frustrating as it is, there's nothing we can do about changing the talent of this defense right now. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing you can do.
And it gets worse now. We're going to have to wait on Akuda. As he was put on IR, and some people might say that's addition by subtraction. I still disagree with that. There's a reason why that guy was held in such high esteem and people had him as a top 5 pick. That's not just a Lion. That's not just the Lions. All those mock drafts from a year ago had this guy as a top 5 pick. I get it. It's been a tough year. No doubt about that. Let's have this conversation about Akuda a year from now. I'd be willing to bet you that we're having the same kind of conversation that we did about a guy named Darius Slay out of Mississippi State.
You know, but and when we let Slay go and Slay ended up going to Philly, and we expected for Akuda to come in and kind of replace him, and we have the people coming in. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Hi.
Do you want to come up and say
You guys want to
hi?
come up and say hi?
Yeah.
Come on
For
up
sure,
and
let's
say
come
hi.
on.
Separate donations, but they came at the same time.
Perfect
Oh,
time.
way cool.
Yeah.
All right, come on up.
Appreciate you guys. You guys both with the target?
Well, yeah.
You guys want a picture with Joique Bell
Right.
anyway.
Stick has the right.
All right, so we have to ask you who you are, where you from.
Shawnee from
Yeah,
Detroit.
you got it. That's what the mic
Outstanding.
is
What'd
right
you
here.
bring down?
Let's see.
You don't have to bring everything out. Look how sweet she is. You don't have to bring anything out.
Oh, it's like a sports thing and then like a Blues Clues
You
thing.
are so sweet.
So
We
nice
just
of you.
figured out Blues Clues. Who doesn't love Blues
Who
Clues,
doesn't
right?
love Blues Clues?
That's
All
right. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Melinda, and I'm coming from my husband's office, which is Canas Orthodontics.
Oh, outstanding.
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 I rated Target. We rated Target for the kids.
You guys are so
So-
classy, the both of you.
So
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
we're really happy to participate, and it's been a hard year, so this is a big deal. So
Well, we
Yeah,
always
we
like to
appreciate
give
you guys.
people shout outs. If you come in, you can get any shout out you want. So, what's the name of the orthodontist?
Canas Orthodontics. It's
And what do
in
you do for a
Rochester
living?
Hills.
Rochester Hills.
And I'm a nurse.
A nurse. Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Any
What do you
shout
do?
outs for you?
Yes, I'm a personal trainer at Jabs Gym in Eastern Market. So
Okay. What's the name of the gym one more time?
Jabs.
All right, you could do some work with us. Any
of
chance we
course.
can come down there? I need to get my butt beat, man.
Yeah.
I keep using
do it.
metabolism as an excuse. You know what it is? It's laziness.
It's
It's
lazy
the
days.
excuse.
That's
Let's
probably
be
what it is. I mean, it's okay.
Okay.
good for you. No, thank you
No,
both for
thank you
coming
guys for
down.
coming down.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Bless you.
Thank you.
for doing this.
Oh, it's so
No
cool.
problem.
All these toys, it's awesome. And
Yeah. Isn't this unbelievable? I mean, it's and you know, every time we come in, that pile keeps growing. We
gotta
have
see.
one more day. Come in before 3:00 tomorrow. One more day. These are two wonderful people. Give it
Yeah.
up for them and everybody else. And you guys, listen, you nailed it. This has been a tough year for everybody. For you guys, from your heart, we appreciate it.
we
really do.
appreciate you guys, so thank you so much
No
for doing
problem.
Thank you, thank you very much. Give it up for
Appreciate
these
it.
two wonderful ladies. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Y'all can actually you can just put her on the floor right here. Give it here. You can just throw it right on top.
Yeah,
That's fine.
we're getting to the
We're
point
getting-
where we might have to rent another room or something, and that's a good problem to have,
We're
right?
gonna have to get a semi truck to get all this stuff out of here.
Thank you very
Yeah, thank
much,
you, guys.
ladies. Appreciate it. Thank
drive
you.
safe.
Merry Christmas to you both.
Oh, you too.
So
Thank
stinking
you much.
cool.
This
So
is great,
stinking
man.
cool.
People are coming in from
I
all
love
over.
it. And I had no problem stopping a conversation and talking to people
What were
that
we
have been
just talking
kind
about?
enough to help. We were talking about the Lions. It was Demetrius' question if you're a
Hold on, real quick.
Lions
You guys
fan.
want a picture with Sean before you guys leave? You want to get a picture with
The
Sean?
picture was dead.
Yeah, get a picture with
Come on,
Sean. Get a
everybody
picture
wants
with
to have a
Sean.
picture with the
Everybody wants a
Lion.
picture
Who's
with
kidding who?
Get a picture with Sean over here. I don't
Max
think-
said if the Lions aren't able
you
to
come right- just
stop
right in
him,
the
he
middle.
might be able to wrap up the rushing title again this week. Joey, they want the
No.
picture with the Lion.
No,
All right,
no,
here.
no, they
You know what,
don't.
Joy?
Sean,
Let's
go
all
in
go.
there.
Joy, get in here. We'll all get a picture
I don't
in,
think my
okay?
mic can reach all the way over. Here we go.
Thank you
Here you
so
go.
much, really.
2, 3.
You know, and smiling under the sun.
Yeah, right? We're all smiling.
But when you smile, you can see the smile.
Squint to the eyes,
see the
right?
smile.
We're all seeing that.
What do you call it when your eyes are smizing?
Smiling eyes?
No, smize. Smizing. Yeah, smizing.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. Max, I want to read this again. Max said, if the Lions aren't able to stop him, he might wrap up the rushing title again this week. Let me ask you something, Joique, because you know this better than anybody. the shelf life of a running back.
2.7 years.
Okay, the way that Derrick Henry runs,
Yes.
does it lend itself to having
A shorter career?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. But with the new technology nowadays, how we can get our body back and recover, and he takes good care of his body. And you don't hear anything negative about him in the media. You don't hear about him going out and drinking and doing stuff to his body that's not going to help him move forward in his career. And so I think he'll have a few more years like this, like a couple more years like this. But for the most part, players who run this hard like this, their shelf time is not as much. Not as long.
How much has the medical technology changed, even in the time that you came in the league? Because I always make the Ryan Armani from Fox 2 one of my favorite human beings.
Yes.
I always make this comment, Joique. Billy Sims, the knee injury that he had that ended his career is like nothing now.
Right.
Nothing. I mean, it's just medical technology has advanced so much. I can't say
year.
Nothing, but I think you understand my point.
Year.
Yeah,
every year.
Has it really? No kidding.
Every year, yeah. They have a lot of different things, like even for knee things like that, even stem cell research, right? Where you're, that's new. I think from like PRP, from PRP went to stem cell. They have some more things out, and it keeps advancing and advancing and advancing. And the way that you can use it, it's amazing. The things that I've seen, some of the researchers that are medical, my medical company, BioStem, check it out. Buy our stock, BSEM. We have like this thing we have with different hospitals where we can take placentas and take from healthy births, and they take stem cells from these, and they can help heal anything from like tendonitis to torn muscles or like a lot of different things, and it speeds up the healing process. And as I'm sitting down in this room and they're kind of showing me like the different things that they're doing within the facility, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Like some of the stuff that we have now wasn't around when I was playing, right? And so it's dope to be able to be a part of something like this and to help players with their career to farther. So.
It really is insane, and I'm going to tell you this much. I mean, the thing that
Are you looking up right now? Are you looking up BioStem right now?
No.
Okay.
You know what I was looking up. I wanted to see. There was a game that came to mind when the Lions played Tennessee. It was Thanksgiving Day, 2008, and I just wanted to double check and see what the numbers were, because if you remember. Let me make sure I get this. Kenny said Henry might go for 300. If you might remember this, Joique, you were still at Wayne State, but Chris Johnson and Lendale White both went over 100 against the Lions that year. Do you remember that one, Corey? Thanksgiving, was it 08? They just kept running on the Lions, and both CJ and Lendale White went for over 100 yards that game. And I was thinking about that, a guy going for 300 yards, you go gasp and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when I look at the box score of that game, that's why I wanted to bring that up, Joique. Let's see. Come on, show me the box score. Gosh damn it, I hate this. Why isn't it right there?
It's never there when you need it.
No, it's never. You can always.
You're gonna be driving home. There's a pop up.
Chris Johnson had $125 on 16 carries. Lendale White had $106 on 23 carries. I mean, they ran all over him. Plus, they had 28 yards, 23 yards, 12 yards from other running backs. It was like constantly just running down the field and everything. And Derrick Henry does that all by himself.
Was this
08? Yeah, Thanksgiving 08. It was the 0-16 year. I mean, it was one of those games. I have no other way to say this. It was absolutely non-competitive. It was just a non-competitive game. Like, okay, the Lions don't belong on the same field. I got to get the final score on that one. Let me get the final score on that one, just so I can. I always like to fact check myself, make sure that I'm nailing things and everything. 47-10. 47-10. I'm interested about your medical thing, though. I had no idea you were involved in that. You have really moved on to some other stuff after your career, man. You got a lot of irons in the fire,
Yeah, man.
and most of them are helping people.
Yeah, everything. So it's funny. Like I told you, like I had to, like while I was playing, I was really evaluating like what did I want to do when I was done playing, and this one just kind of fell on my lap through a friend of mine that lived out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Took me to a company where I met another guy, and we were sitting down talking. We talked for months before I invested into the company, and I love the work that they were doing, and what we've been FDA approved, started our stock. I mean, we went public. I mean, everything. So it was great to be a part of a team like that. And so once I saw what type of things they were doing to help people, I said I wanted to be a part of it. So I teamed up with them back in 2017. And so it's that from the hemp company that I invested in Tennessee, where we do the CBD oils, to the cannabis company I started here in Michigan. It's to my nonprofit. Everything that I do is either helping someone medically or something that I'm doing through my charity. So,
good for you, man.
For the most part.
You know what, though? You were different than most guys, and I'm glad to hear you say that. You were different than most guys. Guys aren't thinking about next. I've known a lot of professional athletes. I told you, one of my closest friends was a professional athlete, and it was funny when his career was over, it was kind of like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Most guys aren't looking ahead. So you were doing that while you were still playing.
Yeah, because, and I told you this, it's a stigma when they tell you when you get into the NFL, only thing you should be doing is just football. Let everybody else worry about everything else. You just worry about football. And I was watching, I said, well, I don't want to just worry about just football, because football, NFL is not for long. So I started watching other players. Like LeBron isn't just worried about basketball.
Sure.
He's doing commercials. He's starting different business ventures. He's putting his friends on, like he's building his network outside of basketball. And so I'm like, if he can do that and still be successful, then why can't other players do it as well? Yeah. And by that time, I had just started my real estate company. And in 2013, when I bought my first property, and then we started building to where we are now. And it's crazy. It's crazy how, and then how you treat people while you play can really help you out when you're done playing, because people remember those things that you did for them while you were playing. Like what players don't know now, that they have SS, right? They have it. They have SS. And what I mean by that is, say I met you a couple of times, Baligian, and we weren't doing this show, but you were coming by the Lions practice facility to pick up something, and you know how it is. You have to have that clearance to get past that big door to get into. But if I'm walking out, hey, Sean, hey, this your son? Oh, how you doing? Shake his hand, and say at the time your son would say 8 or 9. I say, hey, have you? And I'm walking now. I say, hold up, have you seen the locker room before? You'd be like, no, I haven't seen it. Bring your son. Let me take you.
Oh.
So I take you in there. I show you the football field. I show you the practice field. I show you the locker room. I take you to the training room. I show your son like the jacuzzi and the cold tub and the weight room. And now, a couple of players might still be in there. Introduce your son to a few players. And now, something that we do every day, take you to the cafeteria, get your son some chips, some cookies, something, and then we walk out. And now I left you with an experience that we see every day, that we take for granted, that, an opportunity like that for you and your son looking at you like, wow, Dad, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And he'll never forget that.
No
right?
doubt about it.
And now I've earned I've earned your friendship for life, right? And say you were a lawyer and you did contracts. Joique, if you ever need help with a contract, just send it over to me. I'll take a look at it for free. I had a friend who did that, and this lawyer, same scenario, took his son in the stadium, showed him everything, and then saved him like $10 million worth of bad deals.
Oh.
Saved him like $10 million worth of bad deals.
Isn't that beautiful?
But we don't
just being a decent human being, right?
Just being decent, being nice, and just being like who you really are. Like, is that really you?
That's exactly it.
And when he did it, he wasn't doing it because he wanted that. He was doing it because he was just being a nice guy.
Yeah.
So you're not doing it because you want to do something, but you're doing it just because I think it'll be a cool experience for Sean and his son. So come on in.
I think I told you Bill Keenis did that. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
This is before you were with the Lions. He was listening on the radio, and this is when the Lions, after the 08 season.
Right.
So my son and the boy that lived across the street came to school wearing Lion gear, and the kids made fun of him. Everybody was a Patriot fan. Everybody was a Steeler fan. How can you root for those loser teams? And I told the story on the air. I said, how depressing is this? Seriously, think about it. You're 30 miles away from Ford Field, and kids are making fun of other kids for being Lion fans. And Mr. Keenis heard that, and he goes, tell the kids to come down. He goes, I'm going to take care of them. I mean, it's such a classy gesture. So they come to school with all this cool Lion gear and everything. All of a sudden, everybody thought it was cool again. You know, because they came in like in the newest Lion gear, and they got a chance to meet some of the players and everything. But absolutely, and I'll tell you what, he was 9, he's 21 and still talks about it. That was so cool, Dad. When you went down to when you went to, and you know, for me as a member of the media, I had to sign a waiver, Joique. There were rooms that we're normally not allowed in. I had to sign a waiver because it was the day before a game. And so I was there for the walkthrough, which, as you well know, we're not allowed to watch. And we went back to like where the weight room is in the kitchen. I don't see those places. So I had to sign a waiver as a member of the media never to talk about it. And I never have and never will.
Right.
But it was one of those things that you nailed it. I mean, and I think the average guy doesn't understand how they can touch people's lives.
For real. Guys, that's a wrap for us today. Thanks for tuning in to the Baligian Joique Bell show. What?
No, you carry it, baby. I'm loving this. Go. Say goodbye.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Tap in with us tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a Freestyle Friday. I think me and Sean going to have a rap battle, so tap in.